one laden with weapons, fully geared up in their battle rattle. Christen wondered when they'd flown in. They weren't on base when she'd gone to sleep. The Deltas stepped, one at a time, onto a bathroom scale, and one of their group noted each man's weight on their clipboard. Weight mattered to the speed and the dexterity of a helicopter's maneuvers. If they were being that precise, this wasn't a taxi ride. Christen looked down at her flight plan and blinked. What? She held a hand up to shield her eyes and read her orders again. She flipped to the waypoints marked on her map and the GPS coordinates she knew were already loaded into her flight computer system. Wow. I'm not sending you out on a Sunday picnic. Colonel Martin stabbed a finger into her shoulder. You're our precision flyer. Guts forged out of steel, I told him. And now you're going to make sure I don't regret putting my reputation behind you. It was uncharacteristic of the colonel to point to any one pilot, to lift them up or set them apart in any manner from the rest of the Night Stalkers. Christen didn't like it. She was a team player, period. She didn't seek out and didn't want flattery or recognition. She just wanted to do her job. And with or without any added pressure, this was going to be one hell of a trick shot. Christen's gaze scanned down the fuel calculations. With her tank filled to spill, depending on the weight of the deltas and the opposing wind speeds, she had a little over a 260-mile range. With the calculated hover time, this was shaving it close. She turned the page to find the weather readout, then glanced up again at the bright sunshine, not a cloud in the sky. Of course, here in the desert that could change in the blink of an eye, no matter what the weather report said. Haboobs came when they wanted to. These violent winds carrying blinding dirt and debris could choke an engine and put a bird nose down in the sand quicker than quick. Sunlight, though, totally sucked. She wished they'd let her do this at night when she was in her comfort zone. Like a vampire, Christen thrived after the sun went down. The 160th Night Stalkers loved the pitch black of moonless nights. With their FLIR, forward-looking infrared systems, and their night vision goggles, along with some rad computer systems, she could sweep over the terrain, almost undetectable, to deliver her customers to the required spot, arriving on time and on target in plus or minus 30 seconds. It was the precision that her customers demanded. The Night Stalkers were the air support for the United States Special Operations Units. The 160th had flown the Osama bin Laden mission, which had been planned and trained for to the nth degree. Even with the technical problems, that mission could only be seen as a success of vital importance. The 160th had also been the team that zoomed their way into the Hindu Kush region of Afghanistan when the call was made for an immediate extraction after a SEAL team came under heavy fire during Operation Red Wings. The Night Stalkers and their CH-47 Chinook helicopters took off without a gunship escort, hoping against hope to extract the team in time. The Taliban shot down one of the Night Stalkers' helicopters with a rocket-propelled grenade, killing the 8 Navy SEALs and 8 Special Operations aviators on board. The second helicopter was forced to leave the scene. It was a soul-crushing horror of a day. It was the day Christen swore she'd become a Night Stalker, dedicating her work to the memory of those fallen warriors. Christen chewed on her upper lip, reading over her orders to fly straight into the center of a populated city. She visualized the scene in her mind. This kind of challenge was exactly what she'd signed up for. She reached around and hooked a hand behind the back of her neck as she processed the schematics. The road width, with the apron of sidewalks and parking lanes on either side, was marked on the satellite photo as 31 feet 5 inches. Her rotor diameter was 27 feet 4 inches. Could she trust these calculations? Whew, this was going to be one hell of a hairy mission. She'd never trained for this, never imagined it, wasn't completely convinced it was possible. But damn, she was glad she was given the opportunity to try. Typically, they'd sit down and plot this out meticulously. They'd practice until go time, working to find any holes and plug them. But this time, she didn't get to sit